All right, y'all, this is Mr. Labonte. I'm going to try to give you a sense of the evolution of planaria. So this is not a beautiful image here. So we're looking at this, basically this tree, but it gives you a sense of where they came from. So about 600 million years ago, we have the evolution of spirulina. And so these are multi-celled collections of cells. From there, you end up with this plathorictozoa. So platho, by the way, means flat, and that's the characteristic here. And that's plathomenthes too, right? Flat. You end up with, at 560 million years ago, Rufozoa, and then at 270 million years ago, you have plathomenthes. So somewhere in the roughly 300 million years ago, you get plathomenthes. These first occur in saltwater. Remember, all life comes from the ocean. But then very, very quickly, you see these numbers are flipped. These are the best numbers I could get. In this case, you'd be looking at 230. Very, very quickly, you get freshwater. And since the oceans obviously the rivers empty into oceans, you can imagine organisms kind of climbing or making their way up from the ocean into freshwater. The next set of images I'm going to show you are a bit more artistic, but they give you a sense of this evolution component. So I would encourage you, you can go to this thing, OneZoom.org Life, and it's beautiful. So if you'll remember that we looked at deuterostomes, right? So these are organisms that developed the anus first. That was about 600 million years ago that they branched off. So everything is still in the ocean, and then went on to land. Here, that's the evolution here of deuterostomes. You also have over here protostomes. So this is protostomes. That's about 500 million years ago. These are all protostomes that continued along this way, and deuterostome was the branch that went off. You're a deuterostome, right? But protostome is a plathomenthes, or a flatworm. So from the protostomes, you see that you have over here arrowworms. So you have all of these basically organisms that don't have any kind of hard exoskeleton. And gastroics, which is a description of the digestive tract, and that's having a mouth anus, so a joined mouth anus. This is just another example of where the plathomenthes come out about 270 million years ago, and you can see they're fairly closely related to mollusks. So what are they doing? They're living under rocks, so that you can see up here. They're eating small invertebrates and decaying organisms, other worms, and insect larvae. They're eaten by fish and salamanders. So 270 million years ago, you have these rivers, right? Here's my little river. You have rocks. Underneath that rock, you have a little plathomenthes right there. And basically, this has been a stable ecosystem in which these organisms have been able to live and continue as, in terms of what they have and where they are. So that's the evolutionary history of plathomenthes. That's where they are now. Short of having any kind of major change to the relationships between rocks and water and the water cycle, plathomenthes will probably still be around. Clearly, as you know, they're very responsive to pollution. So it's as with all things, it's possible that we could actually kill all of them by polluting rivers and streams to such an extent that they can't survive. But that would really be a pretty large hit to the ecosystems of rivers that would affect the existence of fish and how many insects were in the rivers. So it's possible, but we probably would knock ourselves out of the evolutionary system before that happened. Okay, I hope that helps.